The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What's happening, Octo Nation? Is Charlie. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of random news, charts, a little bit of updates here, a little bit of updates there, more information on SwitchBack, JIH, everybody. We got a lot to dive in, so we're going to first take a look. This was actually a video I was preparing for yesterday until I started to dive into JIH, and that one ended up getting precedence over this. So this is titled Monday's Stock Chart. We're going to call it Tuesday for now. So another truck was on the White House front lawn. What kind of truck was it? The endurance truck from Lordstown. Who's standing in front of it? That's the doctor himself, Mr. Trump. So if you can't tell, he wants that Ohio vote. He's doing what he should. He's going after the vote. He is getting the Lordstown popping, and their stock went up because of this. But guess who else did? WorkHorse. WorkHorse was up, I think, 10.89% or something. This was actually yesterday's news. They have since come down a decent amount, but they at least got a boost from it. Just to keep in mind that even when news from Lordstown comes out, it's always going to boost WorkHorse. Because remember, they're connected. The Einhorn is Finkel, Finkel is Einhorn thing. So I think this is pretty neat. I still think this gives even more clues that if he really wants this to happen for the election, he really should have the USPS announce if he's going for the candidacy purposely, part Ford, part WorkHorse. I know everyone wants full WorkHorse, but if he's trying to win in his shoes, what would you do? That's what he should do if he wants the votes. Regardless, even if we get half the votes for WorkHorse for that contract, the $3 billion contract, however they divide it, it's still a monster of a contract. I will take it, swoop it up. Also, to let you know, new hold investment. I did a video on this. This is going to be the Hennessy Boys 2.0 is what I called it. The Hennessy Capital 2.0. This is one of the guys involved in the first 3 Hennessy acquisitions. This is now his own. He went off and did separate outside of them. Well, the units finally split. This is one I was saying to do an arbitrage on. We're on arbitrage to get the free units. Well, they're split, but look how cheap the commons and the warrants are. The commons are sitting at $9.73. Not a bad place to park some cash, especially when it's below trust, isn't it? Did you calculate it? You should. How about the warrants? Sitting at 62 cents. And when it's not cool, that's what I'm finding. You know, all these videos that I was putting out right when we started the channel, they're all starting to pop. Notice that? So all those people that are getting in before they were cool are the ones that are 4X in their money and 5X in their money and stuff. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. US Vet 3533 on Twitter. Thank you for your service, sir. He is hitting me with some great plays. He brought up the fact that this ticker VPLM, they're some sort of technology company. You guys know more about them, that is involved with a lawsuit with Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple, Verizon, and AT&T for infringing their patents. Well, I guess this company VPLM has a ton of patents, and so they are suing all these other companies. Well, anyways, check this out. United States Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit upholds PTAB decision in favor of VoIP PAL's patents against Apple. So anyways, I wasn't really able to get too much firm information on it, but it seems like to me it could be a monster deal. I think I heard the B word in there, you know, some sort of $1 billion or something. If it's something like VoIP, right? So if it's voice over IP, kind of like digital telecommunication stuff, and they're going after all those guys, I'm sure it could be a $1 billion problem for them. Because if they have some sort of patent with VoIP and cell phones or something, holy Toledo. And the guy said, "We will never stop fighting for our shareholders. We are currently looking forward to proceeding with our pending cases in the Western District of Texas." So they're keeping on going. Is anyone already in this? Should I do a video, full deep dive on this company? By the time he sent this to me, they were already up 189%. By the time I looked at it, it's too far for me to jump in, especially without being a SPAC and no floor. But I don't know. We'll see. It could go up another 500% tonight. I don't know. The Trade Instincts, he wrote and said, "I'd wait on this one, Charlie. Buses sidelined due to design flaws and cracked frames." Whoa, he's talking about Proterra. Should I have let the cat out of the bag? gonna be honest with you guys. I gotta tell you the good and the bad. Look at this. This was published a week and 2 days ago. Proterra Electric buses taken out of service in Philadelphia. Southern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority spokesperson told WHYY that the fleet of 25 all-electric buses, the third largest fleet in the nation, has been fully sidelined since February. We made the decision to fully take out them service. You can go and read the article more if you want. Regardless, it's not good news, but the good news is that the full LOI and stuff isn't out. So it's not like, can you imagine if they announced the merger, whatever, or the, with the SPAC, and that came out, and then like the day later, like news like this came out. I'm glad this is already out. That way, it's in the past. People are like, well, yeah, they're still fine. We'll just shove that under the rug. So what do you think? Slycat88 on Twitter, he's been helping us out. He said, hey, Fuse just popped too high of the year, I believe. It's been checking the charts. That's what we need. We need it with this whole team, just like we were talking about. We're all creating an awesome team. Fuse is jumping around. It's another one I did a video on months ago. Now people are finally getting word of it and it's starting to jump around a little bit. It's good. Who got in right away? Daniel. This guy's doing some great groundwork for us. So we did a video, the last video on Canoe HCAC. I was asking about the safety of it. Well, he went ahead and reached out to Canoe. And he said, hey, Canoe, how's the safety rating on these? And Canoe came back and said, hey, we're aiming for overall 5-star safety rating and have already conducted over 50 crash tests. We'll share more about our progress at a later date. In the meantime, learn more about our engineering and safety features. I've heard people say, like, there's no way this is going to be safe because there's no bumpers and all that. I don't know. We'll have to see. People thought that about the cars in the 60s with those big old metal bumpers, but most cars really don't even have bumpers anymore, really. It's crazy. He said in your video you asked about safety ratings, so helping out the channel. Thanks, Daniel. He's Daniel Hillcox on Twitter. C. Hernandez, anyone heard about this one? I still haven't had a chance to look it up. He said, hey, have you done a video research on DSGT, Imperium Motor Company, a subsidiary of DSG Global, which is trading for pennies? It could be another good EV play, although the cars look goofy. Let me know what you think. Does anyone know what that is? Let me know. Should I do a video on it? Brinks on Twitter, he said, hey, just saw the video clip. What do you think of the odds of the WorkHorse getting all or part of the USPS contract? I think the odds are 33% because there's 3 different companies. I think the odds are stacked that they should at least get most of it. If the new guy is really front running for Trump and he's in there for it, if Trump was smart, like I was talking about above, he would at least give them 50% of the contract because it's going to help win the Ohio vote. And if you want more information on that, I did a video actually. If I was Trump, how I would play the WorkHorse deal, how would I play the USPS deal? So look that up if you want to watch that. This lady Tammy here, she was asking about Feek, the Skills digital gaming platform. Remember them? Well, she was saying, I was talking about how to put a buy-in above where the price action is at, right? Because we're drawing these channels, right? So like for instance, we got one here, this green at $12.99. We've got a red line below it at like $12.29. And when she was asking that, I think it was hanging out around like $12.50 or something like that. And she was asking, in fact, it was down here, but she was asking midpoint. She said, why would I put in a buy above there? Why wouldn't I get it cheaper right here? So the reason I personally like to do it, and this is how I play stocks, especially right now, is I'm not in stuff right now for the super long term. I'm in for swing trading because of this market. I don't believe any of it, okay? And so I want to get in and I want to get out within a week or 3, maybe 6 weeks, but somewhere around that timeline, maybe a day, somewhere around there. So what does that mean? I don't want to get, if we have a channel where stocks are bouncing around at, right? It's sitting here in this channel. I don't want to buy in that channel. I might want to buy in that channel if it's at the bottom, because I'm sure it's probably going to run back up and tag, so I can at least get in here and make that profit up here. But where we're looking at here, if you're thinking long-term for the company, yeah, you can just get in and just ride it and hold it for 10 years if you want. But how I like playing a lot of these is, for instance, like Feek right now is sitting right at this, getting this tight in this channel right about $12. I would rather wait and pay a little bit more and say put a buy-in, around 1220-ish, somewhere around there, somewhere above it. Even, the higher you go, the safer you are, believe it or not. That way you can catch it when a new catalyst comes out or a new big whales all call each other up the night before and decide to all jump in. So you can catch it on the way up and get tagged in on the way up. Because I have no pleasure right now in parking money if it's just going to be sitting there doing nothing, just chilling in the channel. And that's why she was asking, so can you please shed some lights on for me why we get in at 1193 instead of waiting to break 1250? Wouldn't that mean you pay higher at that point? I thought the lower the price, the better. I totally see why you want to wait for 1145. So yeah, she's saying, why wait till 1250 when I can buy right now for 1193? That's why. I'm just waiting for it to get above that channel because otherwise I'm not interested. I want to multiply my money. I'm not looking for 2 or 3% on my money. I'm looking for 2x. Looking for 2x here. Tammy said, hey, what's your thoughts on DPHC? Is it too late to join? Diamond Peak Holdings, was talking about them a little bit. Is it too late to join? I think in this market, I would say personally, I'm probably not going to jump in. It is already sitting at like $27. If this thing went back to the floor like at $10, yeah, I'd buy it. But it's just too high for. There's so many other awesome plays out there. Yes, this could end up being $100 someday, but right now, I don't think it's personally, as far as my portfolio is concerned, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think the risk to reward is worth it. It's already sitting at $27 for a SPAC. Now, unless I can catch a catalyst to surf it, that's a different story. So if news breaks that they get a big contract from who knows where, buying them to race them, like if a race car company gets them up or someone places an order for like 10,000 of them in China or something like that, who knows, or Montana farmers, whatever, Caterpillar buys 10,000, whatever. If that news strikes and I can get in before an insane run up, yes, I will buy in then. But this is not a place I would like to jump in right now. How does it look? It looks like it's got a bear flag going on. It is surfing this channel. It could definitely break it and go up. I think it still will. This thing has been absolutely awesome. As for a stock, anyone buy this at the beginning and is still surfing this up, good for you. You've made some money, but risk to reward right now, I'm just not technically liking it that much. It's like at 88. PPSI again. Look at the turnaround on the tip, on the up. So this is some more channel surfing that we've done on PPSI. This is like the 40th time we've brought this up. We had this line in here, broke it, bam, came back down, retested it. Like I said, confirmed we should have bought right here, which is what smart people did, the puppeteers. And look at that. What happened out of that? Mooned. All right. Retested, rejected, boom, mooned up. What did it happen? 2 extra money. Went all the way to 260. Then it's kind of started giving us this bull flag here. So now we're setting up in this bull flag. Where does it sit now? Like kind of right in the middle of the channel. It's actually came down and tagged this line. We've got this new line I drew in for you. Still watch the 165. It's technically below that. We're technically nowhere-ish. We're kind of in bull, but not really because we're in a bull flag. And it's still kind of going down. You want to wait for it to either break the 165 or you want to wait till it breaks this green line here on the flag to get in. But regardless, it is sitting pretty low for PPSI. It's a not that big of a risk place to get in if you want to just get in and chill, but it's almost at the bottom of a lot of channels that's been in. And if you want to see some more videos on that, take a look at the ones we've done. We've done plenty of them, but it likes to surf this channel. In fact, I could have probably grabbed this and drawn this over a little bit too. Okay, so there's this guy on StockTwits named TheKingTut. So this dude, like a week and a half ago, has actually published a ton of stuff on Proterra and JIH, Juniper Holdings. And I mean, we had talked about my first video of JIH, we were talking about the Honeywell, a bunch of other stuff, but and I've talked about Proterra with it. But this guy had already connected tons of dots. In fact, a lot of the stuff that I even brought up yesterday, he was already on. So I told him, I'm like, dude, you need to start writing us so we can get out to the nation. But he had a lot of good information, a couple of same articles. He has even more people though he's listing. He was saying So out of the JIT team, yeah, 4 out of 5 are top level at Honeywell. But he said there's currently over 14 current and previous Proterra employees, all came from Honeywell, including current CEO Josh Ensign. We knew that. He worked for Honeywell for 11 years. And then he said the JIT team was an integral part of Goldman Sachs. We knew that. First SPAC was Vertiv Holdings, which we didn't look up, but he did. He said very experienced. So then there's a connection with the Vertiv Holdings. Another guy commented, ESGInvesting. He said, Josh Ensign seems to be following Rob Johnson, which is the CEO of Vertiv on LinkedIn, and like this news regarding Goldman Sachs, the SPAC. So there's another connection with the Goldman Sachs SPAC. My confidence in our ability to advance faster and move further. To mainly who played in the role in helping to shape where you are today, employees. But anyway, so this guy came in, Josh, and liked this thing, which connects a couple more dots. Then ESG again goes, I don't know how they know how Ensign and Johnson know each other, if not through Mr. David Côté, who happens to also be the executive chairman of Vertiv. Johnson didn't work at Honeywell. So again, there's a connection that doesn't connect them, but it does because they like the same thing. But he didn't work at Honeywell. So how do they know each other? Because they're all buddy, man. All those guys in the industry, they know each other. They have to know each other. They have to know each other. A platinum equity portfolio company and a global provider of critical digital infrastructure and continuity solutions today announced that it became a publicly traded company through a merger Goldman Sachs acquisition company. Boom, boom, boom. Then ESG said, David Côté is also on the board of directors at JIT, Juniper Holdings. Then the TheKingTut dude said, Rob Johnson was CEO of Schneider Electric for 11 years. So I guess they probably connected during John's time at Honeywell. Basically the same industry, Honeywell, Schneider Electric. I'm not sure exactly what Schneider does. I'm just electric, but Honeywell is, like I said, they're more than just smoke detectors, but basically the whole small electric testing scene, they're in it, so totally. Then ESG said, probably, however, it confirms that Ensign follows the prior SPAC of Mr. Côté, at least through Rob Johnson. I'm sure they are all close contact. Then he goes, Côté seems like the kind of guy who could land Proterra, for sure. Looks like one of the best CEOs out there. Johnson here commented on Côté's book. So he's got a book. Enough stalking for today. I'm just going to, there you go. And TheKingTut said, I would be surprised if it's not Proterra after all this. It seems like a no-brainer for them. The trust money, the management team, let's wait and see, fully loaded regardless, right? So the beauty of it, it's pretty much sitting still at the floor. Why not? Why not? I mean, regardless, even if it's not Proterra, these guys are going to come out with some legit. They better. Better, right? Dominic Pazzi say, hey, dude, take a look at IPOC. Not IPOC, but IPOC. IPOC, Social Capital, Chamath. So, remember this channel we drew in? I don't even know, yesterday, day before, something like that? It's the same little thing. If it breaks, we're breaking. Broke hard. Broke super hard. 1160 to up to 1292. What was that, 15% on your money, something like that? That was earlier in the day. And then after hours, I looked at it again. This thing popped all the way to $13.19. It did come down to $12.99 post, but dude, that's a heck of a run. Look at that V. Again, I think this is the best performing pre-LOI SPAC ever. What do you think? Is it? I think it might. Unbelievable name recognition with Chamath now. You cannot deny this. There's places that there's SPACs that release good to okay targets that don't even get this high. He's even released a potential target whatsoever. It doesn't even give you a hint, other than he's talking about Bitcoin a lot lately. I don't know. What if he gets Proterra? Never know. Daniel Hillcock said, hey, how's WorkHorse looking? It broke bear? Yeah, so WorkHorse, it broke bull to another bull flag. So our previous one that we drew in a couple days ago here, it popped out and then it gave us another bull flag. So what does that mean? It's just getting kind of tighter. People are just waiting for the USPS contract to get released. they're getting fed up waiting, but it's still holding strong. It really is. Oh, and then after hours here, that was when he first said it. So then a couple hours later, it actually even broke that channel and came up and is now consolidating. And we've got another actual that looks like another little bull flag. So we've got massive bull flag, medium mama bear, and then we're gonna have a baby bear bull flag. Oh, I can't even wait to see what happens if and when this UPS thing comes out. One of our patrons who wants to remain incognito, he was asked about DGNR Dragoneer. I haven't talked about them because it just hasn't been the right time to buy it. But we intend, who are they? We intend to purpose opportunities with private high quality growth companies. We will use our experience in sourcing transactions and portfolio company due diligence to seek to identify and negotiate a combination with an exceptional business. Our team focuses on software, internet, media, consumer retail. Hope it's that. Healthcare, IT, and financial services, fintech sectors, and our expectation is that our ultimate target will be one of those sectors, although we may go wherever we want. The team is awesome. This one got some hype. Right out the gate it did. Opened at like 1060 and just instantly was it like $11.15. Fell, blinked twice, and then it's been riding up. Waterfalled all the way up to $12.80. Did this one beat the Chamath one? I don't know. But anyways, we're kind of sitting in let's just call it like a bullish looking flag thingy. I don't necessarily want to be touching this one yet. It's too high there's no LOI. It's still new. We'll probably wait till the warrants and the commons come out, and we'll see where those are hanging out once released, and then go from there. I would probably be a common buyer once released, but sitting this early in the game with the units being right there, I don't know about that. It's just too high for me. Why? There's so many other places I could park some cash right now. This thing is too far out. I don't know. It's one of those ones to jump in, though. Obviously, people like it. Sylvester, he said, Slight Cat Mr. Diego said, fuse warrants up 25%. Yeah, so here's those fuse. Here's the chart here. When we first were doing the video, they were like 50 cents, 54 cents. In fact, after the video, I think they went to like 49 cents for a couple days or so. So anyone get in around there? Anyways, they are sitting at $98 right now. That's a multiplier right there. Anyone multiplying this yet? Just wait. Do another multiplier to 2 very easily. Just watch. This is that. If you haven't seen my video on this, go check it out. Fuse. The guy who invented the SPY, SP 500. Dude, this thing is, if this doesn't get to $1.65 before LOI, I'll be surprised if it does not. This guy's stock quits PB33 said, hey, are you investing in WorkHorse? What do you expect for end of year? I am investing in WorkHorse. And what do I expect for the end of the year? I expect it to be very, very high. If they get the USPS contract, there's no holds bar. If they get a $3 billion contract, I don't know. I have no idea. Could it multiply? I definitely think so. Will it? I don't know. It'll at least probably get 50% up, I'm sure, but who knows? With all the big ARK getting in there, ARK making it cool. ARK bought a SPAC today, by the way. ARK Investment, y'all know about her. The ETF ARK, she bought into IPOB today, a Chama SPAC. That's great for SPACs. See, but we already got in. We got in when they were cool, but now Kathy's getting in, and now it's going to get cool, and that's what's helping bring up all the rest of the channel too. Just synergy, fantastic. We'll still be playing it like a fiddle. Okay. ChargePoint news. They actually released a SEC filing on this, so there might be some meat on the bone. Said, hear more from ChargePoint CEO Pascal Romano on CNBC's Squawk on the Street. This is the transcript. Romano said, they asked him, why'd you decide to go the public route, SPAC? He said, well, we've been eyeing when to exactly take the company public. This is ChargePoint SBE. We always had goals to do that. And right now, with the market for electric vehicles being now started to establish and climb that hockey stick in consumer acceptance, it's just the right time to add the capital to the company to really fuel the growth. We're 13 years old, which is great. We've been in the market for 10 years selling products. We've amassed 4,000 business customers in that time frame and climbing quickly. So for us, we had a lot of opportunity on the timing, but given the recent, I think, awakening in the investment community, this trend is here to stay. It was a good time for us. Webull said, yeah, at the same time, Pascal, let's be honest, you guys are not yet profitable. Yes, you had basically $147 million in reverse last year, and I know you're projecting to be profitable a couple of years down the road from here, but by my count, that's at least 6. I won't even get into it. He said, well, I mean, we're very different. This is an established company, and it's had a 10-year track record of shipping product. Well, other SPACs can say that. Supporting customers. We are in revenue. We do not have the risks of a pre-revenue company, and more importantly, we're an index for the electrification of transportation because of all the existing automakers. And the new automakers begin to transition to electric vehicles. It also drives demand for us, so we're broadly attached to the acceptance of electronic vehicles. We have very good predictability based on our 10-year track record. We see our revenue directly proportional to the acceptance of electronic vehicles. So we think that from an achievement of our financial goals perspective, we have the maturity and predictability to be able to do that, and it's very different for us. Okay. I think this is an excellent answer. She's like, yeah, but what separates you from all the Nicholas in the world? Nah, you're not even profitable. Well, dude, it could be basically, right? They could be, but this is why, being profitable isn't always the best thing, because there's tons of profitable companies, but they're just sitting there rotting, doing nothing. I'd rather a company keep pushing, taking those profits, reinvesting in the company, expanding out, get this thing big. He's going huge international. Can you imagine how big this thing could be? 4,000? It's nothing. It is for the space, but not for the future. There could be 4,000 just in California alone. How many gas stations in California? Come on, man. I don't even know. Dude, let's look at this colorful chart. SBE, SwitchBack Energy. Anyone buy it back when it wasn't cool with me? Way back over here. $10.35. So what's going on with the chart now? We are basically on our third leg up. Okay, we're in a flag pattern heading down. We could refill this current gap right here, which I almost hope we do right now. Maybe just get it over with tomorrow. Like, let's fill this gap, refill it. Where's this going to head us to? Right about $14.27. If this thing just rides this channel all the way down, bam, it slaps this, that's good, because that means we refilled this gap here. We have already refilled this previous gap. Look at this. Came down, waterfall, refilled the gap right here. Then it skied up overnight. Bam. That's what we'd like to see. I'd actually like to see this. Just go ahead and fill this gap now, because if we don't fill this gap, chances are this will go up. People get excited, then buy at the top, and then it will come down and fill the gap. We'd rather get it over with now. If it does, I could be buying more. I don't know. What do you think? Is everyone already in SwitchBack? Think it's got a long thing coming for it? I definitely do. Let's look at the big boy tickers. Let's look at SPY. Y'all gotta keep reminding me to look at this thing, man. Where are we at? What are we doing? Okay, so I pointed out the other day that we've had some big volume for the bears finishing up, which usually means they're done, they're finished up. Regardless, we had the up yesterday, but then today it's just kind of been consolidating, as it looks like to me. Just been kind of hanging out. I'd rather be hanging out than dripping low though, right? We are definitely above this channel though, so as long as we can hang out above this, right around 332, we should be fine. But are we? I don't know. I still think we're going to go down another leg before election. Absolutely. Where? I don't know. We're held up by this awesome one that we found here, this diagonal, this last time. I'm sure we'll try to break this, which is at 320 eventually. Maybe down 315 to the next one. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of time, unless, some sort of magic does happen. But I think what this did prove is that, my thesis on the fact that the market is rallying because of hopium from the masses. It was not because the Fed is printing money. It's because everyone thinks the Fed's actually printing money, which they're not. And they think that they're propping up the market. Have they physically? Kind of, but not really at the same time. Don't you think that if Trump was really in control, he wouldn't have let this last, what has it been, a month now? Yeah, 1 month. In fact, it's been 26 days of down. Do you think he would have let that happen? No. If it were up to Trump, he would have let this thing he would have, maybe a couple day fake out, but he would not let a 30-day, month before election happen. Do you think it would? I don't. You know what we need to figure out? How long did it take March to zip down? February 18th to March, where are we at here? March 23rd. It's 28 days. Or 18th, March 18th. So like a month and a half. Like a month and 3 days. Wonder if we can use that. So technically we might only have another week, maybe less. Maybe like 6 more days of down, and then that'll be it. I've said on the last one, I'd rather get it over with. Let's tank it, get us down to 310. That way we can just start zipping back up. That way we can just be green for weeks on end again, just months and a half at a time. I'll take it. I don't know, it still looks sketchy. Another thing to keep in mind though is this gap up that we did this week. Now we need to refill this gap, which sucks. I don't know. Still be sketchy, all right? Still don't be buying stuff unless you're 90% sure, like I was saying. Just don't do it. Just don't buy anything unless you're 90% sure that thing is going up. And if you're not, don't buy it. Just sit back and wait. Even if sometimes the best thing you do is nothing. Just be a spectator. Watch everyone else make a lot of money and lose a lot of money the next day. Until then, just chill and wait until you see that perfect opportunity. Like I was saying, like an alligator, sit there and wait. How's the US dollar doing? It kind of looks like it's on its way up, which is not good for precious metals. It's obviously just came down today, but if you look at the trend, can we wrap it up in a burrito here? Whoops. Something like that. Looks about right. Somewhere around there. Let's put a bottom channel on it and see if it's going to tag it. I think it's got a little bit down to go. Be somewhere around there. Yeah, so watch this. It's probably going to try to hit exactly this horizontal and this diagonal at the same time. So watch 93.50-ish around there. It's either going to hit that. My hope is that it hits that and smashes through it. Keeps going down for a little bit. But if it hits that, comes back, rejects, reconfirms, and then heads north again, it's probably going to just keep surfing this channel for probably another month until election. We'll just have to watch from there. So keep those precious metal stops tight, especially when it gets close to this channel, because if it hits this and goes back up, the precious metals, the gold and the silver, will start going back down, unfortunately. So what do y'all think? The plays are big news that I totally missed about. Please put it down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. If you're not on our Patreon, join it. One trade could pay for it. times 40, 50, 100x, easy, right? Just put what you want. Any plays, I'm always getting you guys fastest on it. Try to answer you guys as fast as I can throughout the day. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this video with your friends on any other websites you guys are on that maybe I'm not on or something like that, that'd be really cool. Everyone have a good rest of the day. Y'all take care.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.